Okay, okay. Let's get this started. Every day that I play this game is like a new game where I have to remember how to walk and hit and use magic. And I'm so close to leveling up. I don't remember where I am. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get to Winterhold. And Mercurio is still following me. Excellent. Oh, it's behind me. I gotta do this again. This is so painful. Why is it so slow? Are we cold? Is that what it is? I don't know. Just trying to get to Winterhold. Thanks, Mercurio. You're the best. This is so painful. Oh my goodness. How much farther am I from the... Oh my goodness, Winterhold is so far away. Place marker, yes. Okay. So I must not be seeing Winterhold. Leave it. Or am I? I must be seeing something else. Like there's a town right here. The one that... Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this, hello. This is my cat, Curry. He loves to be on stream. I don't know why. He just does, but he hates pictures. He gets really shy around them. I need to move my drinks so he does not bother them. Red curry pie. Oh my god, is that a horse? We're gonna steal that horse. Oh gosh, there's people. Oh my god, yes. Hold on, I wanna see what's up with this place before I steal the horse and stuff. Ooh, we got our first book. We leveled up. We did some stuff today. Okay, Brislov the Righteous by Sinjin. Like all true heroes, Brislov Larek had inauspicious beginnings. We are told by chroniclers that the springtide night in the 448th year of the first era on which he was born was unseasonably cold, and that his mother, Queen Lenada, died very shortly after setting his eyes upon her son. If he were much beloved of his father, King Morris of Skinrad, who already had plenty of heirs, 3 sons and 4 daughters before him, the chroniclers make no mention of it. Ooh, excuse me. His existence was so very undistinguished that we hear virtually nothing of him for the first 20 years of his life. His schooling, we can suppose, was similar to that of any spare prince in the Colovian West, with allied tutors to teach him the ways of hunting and battle. Etiquette, religious instruction, and even basic statecraft were seldom a part of the training of a prince of the highlands as it was in the more civilized valley of Nibene. There is a brief reference to him, together with his family, as part of the rolls of honor during the coronation of the Emperor Gorius on the 23rd of Sunstone, First Era 461. The ceremony, of course, held during the time of the Elysian doctrines of Merope, and so it was without entertainment. But the 13-year-old Brislav was still witness to some of the greatest figures of legend. The Beast of Aniquina, Darlock Bray, represented his kingdom, given honor to the empire. The chieftain of Skyrim, Keurig the White, and his son Hog were in attendance, and despite the empire's intolerance of all elves, Chimer Induril, Nevanar, and Dwemer Dumak, Dwarf King, were evidently there as well, diplomatically representing Resdane, all in relative peace. Also mentioned on the rolls was a young mayor in service to the imperial court of High Rock, who was to have a great history of Islam, Ryan Dirani. Whether the 2 young men of about the same age met and conversed is entirely the stuff of historians' fancy. Rain is spoken of in praising words of as a powerful landowner, eventually buying the island of Balfira in the Iliac Bay and gradually conquering all of High Rock and large parts of Hammerfell and Skyrim, but Rislav is not heard of again in history's books for another 17 years. We can only offer supposition based on the facts that follow. Children of kings are, of course, married to the children of other kings to bind alliances. The kingdoms of Skingrad and Kvatch skirmished over common territory throughout the 5th century until they reached a peace in the year 472. The details of this accord are not recorded, but since we know that Prince Rislav was in the court of Kvatch 6 years later as husband to Beline, the daughter of King Justinius, it is fair to make an educated guess that they were married then to make peace. This brings us to the war, the year 478. This brings us to the year 478 when a great plague swept through all of Cyrodiil and seemed particularly concentrated in the independent Colovian West. Among the victims were King Morris and the rest of the entire royal family of Skingrad. Radislav's only surviving elder brother, Dorald, survived being in the imperial city as a priest of Morocco. He returned to his homeland to assume the throne. Of Dorald, we have some history. The king's second son, he was slightly simple-minded and evidently very pious. All the chroniclers spoke of his sweetness and decency, how he saw a vision in his early years that brought him, with his father's blessing, from Skingrad to the imperial city and the priesthood. The priesthood of Morocco, of course, saw no difference between spiritual and political matters. It was the religion of the Elysian Empire, and it taught that to resist the emperor was to resist the gods. Given that it is scarcely a surprise what Thorold did when he became king of the independent kingdom of Skingrad. His first edict on his very first day was to cede the kingdom to the empire. The reaction throughout the Colovian estates was shock and outrage, nowhere more so than in the court of Kvatch. Rislav Larik, we are told, rode forth to his brother's kingdom together with his wife and 24 of his father-in-law's cavalry. It was surely not an impressive army, no matter how the chroniclers embellish it, but they had little trouble defeating all the guards Thorold sent to stop them. In truth, there was no actual battling, for the soldiers of Skingrad resented their new king's decision to give up their autonomy. The brothers faced one another in the castle courtyard where they had grown up. In the typical Colovian fashion, there was no trial, no accusations of treason, no jury, no judge, only an executioner. "Thou art no brother of mine," Rislav Larik said, and struck Thorold's head from his shoulders in one blow. He was crowned king of Skingrad, still holding the same bloody axe in his arms. If King Rislav had no battle experience beforehand, that was shortly to change. Word spread quickly to the imperial city that Skingrad once offered was now being taken back. Gorius was an accomplished warrior even before taking the throne, and the 17 years he had as emperor were scarcely peaceful. Only 8 months before Thorold's assassination and Rislav's ascendancy, Gorius and the Elysian army had faced another of his coronation guests, Jorik the White, on the fields of the frozen north. The high chieftain of Skyrim lost his life in the Battle of Sungard. While the Pact of Chieftains was selecting a new leader, Cyrodiil was busy grabbing back the land of southern Skyrim that it had lost. In short, Emperor Gorius knew how to deal with rebellious vassals. The Elysian army poured westward like a flood of death, to borrow the chronicler's phrase, in numbers far exceeding what would be required to conquer Skingrad. Gorius could not have thought actual battle was likely. Rislov, as we said, had little to no experience at warfare and only a few days' practice at kingcraft. His kingdom and all of the Colovian West had just been ravaged by plague. The Elysian anticipated a mere show of arms and a surrender. Rislov instead prepared for battle. Ooh! He quickly inspected his troops and drew up plans. The chroniclers who had heretofore ignored the life of Rislov now devote verse after verse describing the king's aspect of fetishistic delight. While it may lack literary merit and taste, we are at least given some details at last. Not surprisingly, the king wore the finest armor of his era, as the Colovian estates then had the finest leathersmiths, the only ones of armor available in all of Tamriel. The king's Klebanian nail, boiled and waxed for hardness, and studded with inch-long spikes, was a rich chestnut red, and he wore it over his black tunic under his black cloak. The statue of Rislov the Righteous, which now stands in Skingard, is a romanticized version of King, but not inaccurate except in the armor represented. No bard of the Colovian West would have gone to market so lightly protected, but it does, as we will see, include the most important accoutrement of Rislov, his trained hawk and his fast horse. The winter rains had washed through the roads to the south, sending much of the west weald spilling into Valenwood. The emperor took the northern route, and King Rislov, with a small patrol of guards, met him at the low pass on what is now the Gold Road. The emperor's army, it is said, was so large that the beast of Anaquina could hear its march from hundreds of miles away, and despite himself, the chroniclers say he quaked in fear. Rislov, it was said, did not quake. With perfect politeness, he told the emperor that his party was too large to be accommodated in the tiny kingdom of Skingrad. Next time, Rislov said, right before you come. The emperor was, like most Elysian emperors, not a man of great humor, and he thought Rislov touched by Sheograth. He ordered his personal guards to arrest the poor madman, but at that moment the king of Skingrad raised his arm and sent his hawk flying into the sky. It was a signal his army had been waiting for. The Elysian were all within the pass and the range of their arrows. King Rislov and his guard began riding westward as fast as they had been kissed by wild Kinnereth, as the chronicler said. He did not dare to look behind him, but his plans went faultlessly. The far eastern end of the pass was sealed by rolling boulders, giving the Elysian no direction to go but westward. The Skingrad archers rained arrows down upon the imperial army from far above on the plateaus, remaining safe from reprisal. The furious Emperor Gorius chased Rislov from the Weald to the highlands, leaving Skingrad far behind, all the while his army grew steadily smaller and smaller. Ooh. In the ancient highlands forest, the imperial army met the army of Rislov's father-in-law, the king of Kvatch. The Elysian army likely still outnumbered their opponents, but they were exhausted and their morale had been obliterated by the chase amid a sea of arrows. After an hour's battle, they retreated north into what is now the Imperial Reserve, and from there further north and east to slip back to nurse their wounds and pride in Nibene. It was the beginning of the end of the Elysian hegemony. The king of the Colovian West joined with Skvatch and Skingrad to resist imperial incursions. The clan Durrani under Ryan was inspired to outlaw the religion of the Elysian reform throughout his lands in High Rock, and begin pushing into imperial territories. The new chief of Skyrim, Hogue, now called Hogue Merkiller, though sharing the emperor's official xenophobia, also joined the resistance. His heir, King Ysmir Wolfarth of Atmora, helped continue the struggle upon Hogue's death in battle, and also ensured his place in history. The heroic king of Skingrad, who faced the Emperor's army virtually alone and triggered its end, justly reserves his sobriquet of Risla the Righteous. Okay. That was cool. Okay, that was neat. That was a cool little story. I got a horse!
A horse?
I got a horse.
Of course.
There we go. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Level up available. Health. Okay, I gotta figure this out. Babe,
Yeah.
do you know how to how to level up in Skyrim?
Level up?
Yeah, I'm trying to use up my perks, but I can't. I don't know how to. I don't know which button makes it so that I can level up my perk. Can I use that? Can I figure that out under controls?
Maybe. Yes. Oh, maybe the M key or the I key. The tab key should allow you to look at a menu.
Okay, so I hit tab, and then I go on skills, and then I go into destruction, and then there's these things in the sky, and then how do I make it so that I click one of them to, you know, one of my perks?
You just click it. If you have the points to do it, you can. But you have to use it in order to level it up. You can't just become good at something just because.
Yeah, it's lit up. It's lit up. Shoot. Okay. I feel like I did it before. Babe.
Yeah, babe.
I can't find it. How to pick a skill tree in Skyrim. You see?
Requires 25. You have 19.
Oh, that's why. How about this one? Oh, requires 20. Okay, so that means that I would have to choose something else. Thank you. I was like, what the fuck? Also heavy armor then. Thank you, my love.
Sure.
I'm on a horse.
Are the horses in the back?
I wonder when I'll get my shouts. I love you.
I love you.
You are so cute.
Why?
You are cute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, what the fuck? You were no help, Mercurio. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh gosh, again? You fucking killed me, Mercurio! Why would you do that? Now we have to go back so far. I encountered an ice wraith. I'm not good enough to fight an ice wraith yet. We're just trying to get to Winterhold so we can read all the books, which reminds me. Did I accidentally pick up a book? I did. Okay. Sun's Height. Book 7 of 2920. The Last Year of the First Era by Karlovac Townway. For Sun's Height 2920, the Imperial City Cyrodiil, the Emperor Remen III and his potentate Versidushaye took a stroll around the Imperial Gardens. Studded with statuary and fountains, the North Gardens fit the Emperor's mood as well as being the coolest acreage in the city during the heat of summertide. Austere, tiered flowered beds of blue, gray, and green towered all around them as they walked. Vivek has agreed to the prince's terms for peace, said Remen, and my son will be returning in 2 weeks' time. This is excellent news, said the potentate. I hope the Dunmer will honor the terms. We might have asked for more. The fortress of Black Gate, for example, but I suppose the prince knows what is reasonable. He would not cripple the empire just for peace. I have been thinking about Risha and what caused her to plot against my life, said the emperor, pausing to admire the statue of the slave queen Alessia before continuing. The only thing I can think of to account for it is that she admired my son too much. She may have loved me for my power and my personality, but he, after all, is young and handsome and will one day inherit my throne. She must have thought that if I were dead, she could have an emperor who had both youth and power. The prince was in on this plot, said Versidou Chaye. It was a difficult game to play, anticipating where the Emperor's paranoia would strike next. Oh, I don't think so, said Remen, smiling. No, my son loves me so well. Are you aware that Korda, Raja's sister, is an initiate of the Morwa Conservatorium in Hegeth? Said the potentate. Morwa, said the Emperor. I've forgotten which god is that. Lusty infertility goddess of the Vyukdens, replied the potentate, but not too lusty like the Bella. Demure, but certainly sexual. I am through with lusty women. The emperors, Rija, all too lusty. A lust for love leads to a lust for power. The emperor shrugged his shoulders. But a priestess in training with a certain healthy appetite sounds ideal. Now, what were you saying about the Black Gate? Okay. This one is a weird one. 6 Sun's Height, 2920, Thurzo Fortress, Cyrodiil. Rija stood quietly looking at the stone-cold floor while Emperor spoke. He had never before seen her so pale and joyless. She might at least be pleased that she was being freed, being returned to her homeland. Why, if she left now, she could be in Hammerfell by the Merchants' Festival. Nothing he said seemed to register any reaction from her. A month and a half stay in Thurzo Fortress seemed to have killed her spirit. I was thinking, said the Emperor at last, of having your younger sister Korda up to the palace for a time. I think she would prefer it over the conservatorium in Hegeth, don't you? Reaction at last. Rija looked at the Emperor with animal hatred, flinging herself at him in a rage. Her fingernails had grown long since her imprisonment, and she raked them across his face into his eyes. He howled in pain, and guards pulled her off, pummeling her with blows from the back of their swords until she was knocked unconscious. A healer was called at once, but the Emperor Raman III had lost his right eye. Oh, snap. 23 Sun's Height, 2920, Balmora, Morrowind. Vivek pulled himself from the water, feeling the heat of this day washed from his skin. Taking a towel from one of his servants, Sothasil watched his old friend from the balcony. It looks like you've picked up a few more scars since I last saw you, said the sorcerer. Azura granted that I have no more for a while, laughed Vivek. When did you arrive? A little over an hour, said Sothasil, walking down the stairs to the water's edge. I thought I was coming to end a war, but it seems you've done it without me. Yes, 80 years is long enough to see for a ceaseless battle, replied Vivek, embracing Sothasil. We made concessions, but so did they. When the old emperor is dead, we may be entering a golden age. Prince Juliek is very wise in this age. Where is Alma Alexia? Collecting the Duke of Mournhold. He should be here tomorrow afternoon. The men were distracted at a sight from around the corner of the palace. A rider was approaching through the town, heading for the front steps. It was evident that the woman had been riding hard for some time. They met her in the study, where she burst in breathing hard. We have been betrayed, she gasped. The Imperial Army has seized the Black Gate. Oh, is that a bad thing? 24 Sun's Height, 2920, Balmora, Morrowind. It was the first time in 17 years that the 3 members of the Morrowind Tribunal had met in the same place since Sothasil had left Arterium. All 3 wished that the circumstances of their reunion were different. From what we've learned, while the prince was returning to Cyrodiil to the south, a second Imperial army came down from the north, said Vivek to his stony-faced compatriots. It is reasonable to assume Juliek didn't know about the attack, but neither would it be unreasonable to suppose that he planned on being a distraction while the Emperor launched the attack on Black Gate, said Sothasil. This must be considered a break of the truce. Where is the Duke of Mournhold? I would hear his thoughts on the matter. He is meeting with the Night Mother in Tel Arubin, said Almalexia quietly. I told him to wait until he had spoken with you, but he said that the matter had waited long enough. He would involve the Morag tongue in outside affairs. Vivek shook his head and looked at Sothasil. Please do what you can. Assassination will only move us backwards. This matter must be settled with diplomacy or battle. Ooh. 25 Sun's Height, 2920. Tel Arun, Morrowind. The Night Mother met Sothasil in her salon, lit only by the moon. She was cruelly beautiful, dressed in a simple silk black robe, lounging across her divan. With a gesture, she dismissed her red-cloaked guards and offered the sorcerer some wine. You've only just missed your friend, the Duke, she whispered. He was very unhappy, but I think we will solve his problem for him. Did he hire the Morag tongue to assassinate the Emperor? Said Salathil. You are straightforward, aren't you? That's good. I love plain-speaking men. It saves so much time. Of course, I cannot discuss with you what the Duke and I talked about. It would be bad for business. She smiled. What if I were to offer you an equal amount of gold for you not to assassinate the Emperor? The Morag tongue murders for the glory of Mephala and for profit, she said, speaking in her glass of wine. We do not merely kill. That would be sacrilege. Once the Duke's gold has arrived in 3 days' time, we will do our end of the business. And I am afraid we would not dream of entertaining a counter-offer. Though we are a business as well as a religious order, we do not bow to supply and demand. So, ooh, this one's a long one. 27, Sun's Height, 2920, the Inner Sea, Morrowind. Sothasil had been watching the water for 2 days now, waiting for a particular vessel, and now he saw it. A heavy ship with the flag of Mournhold. The sorcerer took the air and intercepted it before it reached harbor. A call of flame erupted over his figure, disguising his voice, and a form into that of a Daedra. Abandon your ship, he bellowed. If you would not sink with it. In truth, Sothasil would have exploded the vessel with but a single ball of air, but he chose to take his time to give the crew a chance to dive off. To dive off into the warm water. Excuse me, you guys. When he was certain there was no one living aboard. Oh no.
You okay?
Yeah, I have hiccups.
It's hard to read books with hiccups.
This one's an interesting one. It's written like a journal. It's written like a journal, so it's somebody's perspective in particular. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. Where's my pen? Okay. In truth, Sothasil could have exploded the vessel with but a single ball of fire, but he chose to take his time to give the crew a chance to dive off into the warm water. When he was certain there was no one living aboard, he focused his energy into a destructive wave that shook the air and water as it discharged. The ship and the Duke's payment to the Morag tongue sunk to the bottom of the Inner Sea. Night Mother, thought Sothasil, as he floated towards shore to alert some of the harbor master that some sailors were in need of rescue. Everyone bows to supply and demand. the year is contingent in the last seed. What? We gotta find the last seed. Okay, let's go get over this bridge. Oh wait, I gotta level up health. Can't get any faster. It's so slow. I wish I was I was like ambidextrous or something. Quick save that niche. Oh. Whoa, there's a dead guy right here. Why is there a dead guy right here? It's a dead lady. Let's see. I only have me watching me, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at my stream, my schedule. I'm gonna move that to that. SR. Upload. Okay. Okay. And then let's do Friday. Tuesday and Friday. Sunday, Monday, and Thursday I need something. And then I always do Monday to Friday. And then Okay. Oh shit. Oh my. Oh snap, there's dead people here. Thank you. Hey babe!
Yes, darling.
How good at you are lockpicking? How good are you at lockpicking?
In real life?
No, in the game. Duh.
Oh, I don't know.
Can you lockpick this for me? It's at adept, which means it's like mid-grade kind of hard.
I can try.
Can you try it? Please and thank you. I love you.
Okay. Please, Amanda, it is you. I want to be married and have children when I, turn 30. And I'm just like, doesn't work that way.
What?
Huh?
What?
Where's your mouse? There it is. Oh no! How many picks do I need? Or get? I've got like less than that. 12. Wow, I'm really bad at lockpicking as it turns out. I used to be a lot better at this. Sorry for wasting all your lockpicks.
It's okay. Wait, how many did you waste?
Like 3 or 4.
Oh, it's fine. Did you? Oh, you got it though.
Yeah.
Of course you would get it. Ten, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to pee.
Oh, I'm supposed to get scratched.
Oh. What? What do you want? Have you seen my character?
No.
She's cool looking. Oh my goodness, this is so painfully slow. I don't understand why it's so slow now. I'm so close. That must be Winterhold. That's gotta be Winterhold. Thanks, Mercurio. So useful.
I thought he killed you before.
What?
I thought Mercurio killed you before.
No, he's my companion.
Oh, okay.
He accidentally hit me while I was like in the middle of something. That's what happened. That's how he killed me. One of the times. Hey, you know that guy that you follow? Soviet Wombat?
Yeah.
Is he the one that streams when he plays Team Fortress? Not Team Fortress. The Russian one.
I've never seen him stream.
Or no, his videos. You know how his videos have a certain like way of like showing the like jump cuts and shit.
Oh, he does the text animation.
Yes. Can you send me one of his videos so I can send it to my editor?
Look up Soviet Wombat or Soviet Random Counter-Strike Random Bullshittery Part 1. I'll get it for you. Hang on.
Thank you. Cause I wanna send it to her to be like, hey, can you stitch together a video like this, like once a month, or something? Cause I decided that I would stream every Saturday night after work, so like 8 or 9 p.m. You know. That way, because I initially thought Friday night, but then I was like, no, you stream, you have your race, and sometimes you stream, and I don't want to bother that. I want to give you that space.
Oh.
Because I love you!
Oh, I love you too.
Oh my god, I'm getting into Winterhold. Oh my god, Winterhold. So close.
That's where you will magic.
That's where the magic happens, babe. That's where we learn magic and where I can get a shit ton of books. Because that's the only reason that I'm playing Skyrim, to read all the books.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
If you're here for sightseeing, well, then you've seen the sights. Might as well head somewhere warmer.
For a drink. Where else could I even go if it's not specific?
My job, me? Nothing. And I hope to keep it that way. The Jarl is convinced I have some connection with the college, so he goes easy on me. Maybe you'd like to help me keep up appearances. Old Nellikar has a mage's staff in his room in the frozen hearth. It'd be good to have that staff, in case the Jarl starts wondering if I actually have a real connection to the college. Daedra, take you then.
Yeah, fuck you too, man.
Alright then.
What do you need? Anything else?
No, just follow me. Just follow me, okay?
What is it? Dragons?
No, there's no fucking dragons anywhere, okay? We're trying to get to the college. There's something wrong with my game because I'm so slow in walking and I can't even sprint.
It's probably because you picked up too much stuff.
It's not.
You sure? Open your inventory.
187 over 300.
Okay, maybe.
I know all about them games of picking up too much shit. I pick up too much shit all the time. But not this time because all we want to do is read books. That's all we want to do. I'm a part of a couple of Facebook groups. On the like Skyrim Facebook groups where I'm like, hey, what's your favorite book? I should look for it.
Cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry. I am here to assist those seeking the wisdom of the college. And if, in the process, my presence helps to deter those who might seek to do harm, so be it. The more important question is, why are you here? Perhaps. But what is it you expect to find within? Ah, the immortal plane. It is said to be the source of all magic. This is a noble goal, indeed. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is, what can you offer the college?
Ooh.
Not just anyone is allowed inside. Those
Oh,
who
fuck.
enter must
Oh,
show
that's
some
right.
degree of skill with magic.
Oh my goodness.
A small test, if you will. No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort. Excellent.
I'll take your
The
test
fear
then.
spell has saved the life of many an illusion mage. If you could cast it on the seal here on the ground, that would prove your skill. I look forward to it. The college is an asset, even if it goes unnoticed or unappreciated. The college is an asset to Skyrim, even if it goes unnoticed or unappreciated.
Oh man. No. Put your shit away, Mercurial. We fucked up. We need more spells, my dude. We need more spells. Hold on. Babe!
Yeah, babe.
You know that game that I told you that I won on one of my Facebook groups to guarantee a sale in our store?
Yeah.
I'm the only one who won!
Nice.
Yeah! Well, we're the only one who won.
We?
Yeah, because I used your birthday.
I helped.
Yes. I was like 25 and 26, and they're like, 25's the number! Now we're just looking for the other one, and I was like, woohoo! And she just closed out the game. The other number was 87.
I don't know any 87s.
87. It's like the year before my birth year. Come here. Look at my girl. This is my character. When I leave it alone, it like twirls around. This is my character. This is what she looks like.
She has no eyes.
No, she has eyes.
They're just hidden?
With the makeup, yeah.
I did it. You got all the scrap.
I don't know who that is. I'm not going in their house. Ooh, is this the one? Is this the place where there's the ghost and the kids? I think so. I think so. I think this is their house. Yeah. That's creepy. Let's see.
Everything all right?
Yeah. Everything's fine. Let's harvest that snowberry. Hey, you know what I want to do?
Someone
What's that?
stole your sweet.
I want to get super rich and then buy a apartment complex, and then put all my family in there.
Yeah, about that.
Sorry, could you describe the snow? This is an old.
If you spend all your finances on that,
daughter is
then
an
you
explode
won't be able to
storm.
help me out
What did you
with
do?
other stuff that we're doing
Bring
together.
to our youth, and today's
So,
come
you know, that
and
affects me
gone.
directly.
For the age of
I would still help
oppression is
you.
now nearly done.
I love you.
Oh, I like
I want to help
Drive
you.
out the empire
saying,
from
you
this
know, it's like
land
it's a
that
family
we
matter,
own.
it's none of my
With our
business,
blood
but,
and
like,
our
if you start doing
steel,
stuff
we
like
will
that,
take
it
back
is.
our home.
It is. I
All
love you. You are
hail
my
to
partner.
Ulfric, you are the High King. In your great honor we drink and we sing.
Hey, you wanna like cosplay or
Children
learn?
of Skyrim, and
You
we
wanna
fight
learn?
all our
Go
lives. And
Yeah.
when Sovngarde beckons,
Hello,
every
you.
one of us
Why?
dies.
I just assumed it will.
You know what?
This
It is
land
true. That is how
ours,
one of
and
my
see it
friends'
white
marriages
gleam
ended.
Of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
He cheated on his wife with some
All hail
pirate
to
wench
Ulfric, you
during a
are the
pirate
High
convention
King.
type situation.
In your great honor we drink and we
Yeah.
sing.
Amazing.
Hello there, fellow traveler. What? The best tales are those of adventure. Who could truly write such a tale without first experiencing such?
Just children.
Why, to perform for my common man, of course. Why should only the courts and inns of wealthy towns...
No. I want to learn more about speechcraft.
Ah, well, after a little incident with a roguish lad and the daughter of a prominent thane, well, let's just say, best not. Afraid not. But if you're serious about sharpening that tongue, you might try the Bard's College in Solitude.
Oh, Solitude! That's another place I want to be at. What about
If there's
what
anything you
about
need,
what
just let
about
me know.
the girl?
I'm afraid there's not much to be said. Winterhold is hardly what it used to be. You can talk to Birna if you need to buy anything. He doesn't have much, but can certainly use the coin. And then there's our little inn. Most of the business we get is from folks here to visit the college. Though even that's dried up some. That's right. College of Winterhold, just north of town. Hard to miss. Take a look. See ya.
See ya. You got some books Up in here. No.
I don't deal with any college applicants these days, so don't bother asking. No. Gods no, not for years. I left Winterhold for some time, and returned to stay here at the inn.
Oh, word. Why would you live here at
I
the
still
inn?
have research that keeps me busy, and being here in Winterhold ensures I have access to former colleagues.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to read your books. Yay! Got books to read. Okay. Let me take a look at this real quick. Okay. The words of clan mother Ahnisi to her favorite daughter.
Grandmother Rahega?
Ahnisi tells you you are no longer a mewing kitten, and you have learned to keep secrets from Ahnisi until Ahnisi tells you. In the beginning, there were 2 litter mates, Ahnur and Fadomai. After many phases, Fadomai said to Ahnur, "Let us wed and make children to share our happiness." And they gave birth to Alkosh, the first cat. And Ahnur said, "Alkosh, we give you time for what is as fast or as slow as a cat." And they gave birth to Kenarthi, the winds. Kenarthi, to you we give the sky for what can fly higher than the wind. And they gave birth to Magris, the cat's eye. Magris, to you we give the sun for what is brighter than the eye of a cat. And they gave birth to Mara, the mother cat. Mara, you are love for what is more loving than a mother. And they gave birth to Srendar, the runt. Srendar, we give you mercy, for how does a runt survive except by mercy? And many phases passed, and Ahnur and Fatomai were happy. And Ahnur said, "We should have more children to share our happiness." And Fatomai agreed. And she gave birth to Hamara, and she gave birth to Hercine, and she gave birth to Myrns, and Mafala, and Sanjin, and Shagarath, and so many others. And Fatomai said, "Oh." Hamara, you are the tides, for who can say whether the moons predict the tides or the tides predict the moons? Hercine, you are the hungry cat, for what hunts better than a cat with an empty belly? Maroons, you are the Jakajit, for what is more destructive than a kitten? Mafala, you are the clan mother, for what is more secretive than the ways of the clan mothers? Sanguine, you are the blood cat, for who can control the urges of blood? Shagarath, you are the skooma cat, for what is crazier than the cat on skooma? And Ahnur said, 2 litters is enough, for too many children will steal our happiness. But Kenarthi went to Fatomai and said, "Fatomai, mother, Kenarthi grows lonely so high above the world where not even my brother Alktosh can fly." Fatomai took pity on her and tricked Ahnur to make her pregnant again. Ooh! Oh man! And Fatomai gave birth to the moons and the motions, and she gave birth to Nirni, the majestic sands and lush forests. And she gave birth to Azura, the dusk and the dawn. And from the beginning, Nirni and Azura fought for their mother's favor. Ahnur caught Fatomai while she was still birthing, and he was angry. Ahnur struck Fatomai, and she fled to birth, the last of her litter, far away from the great darkness. Fatimai's children heard what happened, and they all came to be with her and protect her from Ahner's anger. Fatima gave birth to Lokarj, the last of her litter in the great darkness, and the heart of Lord Kaj was filled with the great darkness. And when he was born, the great darkness knew and its name, and it was Namira. Fatima knew her time was near. Fatima said, Jacques, to you Fatima gives the lattice, for what is steadier than the faces of the moons? Your eternal motions will protect us from Ahnor's anger, and the moons left to take their place in the heavens. And Ahnor growled and shook the great darkness, but he could not cross the lattice. And Fatima said, Nerni, to you Fatima leaves her greatest gift. You will give birth to many people as Fatima gave birth today. When Nerni saw that Azura had nothing, Nerni left smiling. And all Fatima's children left except Azura. And Fatima said, to you, my favorite daughter, Fatima leaves her greatest gift. To you, Fatima leaves her secrets. And Fatima told her favorite daughter 3 things. Fatima said, when Nerni is filled with her children, take one of them and change them. Make the fastest, cleverest, most beautiful people and call them Khajiit. And Fatima said, the Khajiit must be the best climbers, for if Master and Secunda fail, they must climb Kinarthi's breath to set the moons back in their courses. Fatima said, the Khajiit must be the best deceivers, for they must always hide their nature from the children of Ahnor. And Fatima said, the Khajiit must be the best survivors, for Nerni will be jealous, and she will make the sands harsh and the forests unforgiving, and the Khajiit will always be hungry and at war with Nerni. And with these words, Fatima died. After many phases, Nerni came to Lorcash and said, Lorcash, Fatima told me to give birth to many children, but there is no place for them. Lorcash said, Lorcash makes a place for children, and Lorcash puts you there so you can give birth. But the heart of Lorcash was filled with the great darkness, and Lorcash tricked his siblings so that they were forced into his new place with Nerni. Oh! And many of Fatima's children escaped and became the stars, and many of Fatima's children died to make Nerni's path stable, and the survivors stayed and punished Lorcash. The children of Fatima tore out the heart of Lorcash and hid it deep within Nerni. And they said, we curse you, noisy Lorcash, to walk Nerni for many phases. But Nerni soon forgave Lorcash, for Nerni could make children. And she filled herself with children, but cried because her favorite children, the forest people, did not know their shape. And Azura came to her and said, poor Nerni, stop your tears. Azura makes for you a gift of a new people. Nerni stopped weeping, and Azura spoke the first secret to the moons, and they parted and let Azura pass. And Azura took some forest people who were torn between man and beast, and she placed them in the best deserts and forests on Nerni. And Azura, in her wisdom, made them of many shapes, one for every purpose. And Azura named them Khajiit and told them her second secret and taught them the value of secrets. And Azura bound the new Khajiit to the lunar lattice, as is proper for Nerni's secret defenders. Then Azura spoke the third secret, and the moon shone down on the marshes, and their light became sugar. Okay. But Aether heard the first secret and snuck in behind Azura. And Aether could not appreciate secrets, and he told Nerni of Azura's trick. So Nerni made the deserts hot and the sands biting. And Nerni made the forests wet and filled with poisons. And Nerni thanked Aether and let him change the forest people also. And Aether did not have Azura's subtle wisdom, so Aether made the forest people elves always and never beasts. And Aether named them Bosmer, and from that moment they were no longer in the same litter as the Khajiit. Because Aether had no appreciation for secrets, he shouted the first secret across all the heavens with his last breath so that all of Fathomai's children could cross the lattice. But Azura, in her wisdom, closed the ears of angry Anur and noisy Lorthaj, so they alone did not hear the word. Oh, wow.
This is an ode to Skyrim's...
Okay. Mysterious Akavir. Akavir means Dragonland. Tamriel means Dawn's Beauty. Atmora means Elderwood. Only the Redgers know what Vokuda ever meant. Akavir is the kingdom of the beasts. No men or mare live in Akavir, though men once did. These men, however, were eaten long ago by vampiric serpent folk of Teski. Had they not been eaten, these men would have eventually migrated to Tamriel. The Nords left Atmora for Tamriel. Before them, the elves had abandoned Aldmeris for Tamriel. The Red Guards destroyed Vokuda, so they could make their journey. All men and mare know Tamriel is the nexus of creation where the last war will happen, where the gods unmade Lorkham and left their adamantine tower of secrets. Who knows what the Akaviri think of Tamriel, but ask yourself, why have they tried to invade it three times or more? There are 4 major nations of Akavir: Kamal, Teski, Tangmo, and Kaphotud. They are not busy trying to invade Tamriel, they are fighting each other. Kamal is snow hell. Demons live there, armies of them. Every summer they thaw out and invade Tangmo, but the brave monkey folk always drive them away. Once Ada Sum, dear Kamal, a king among demons, attempted to conquer Morrowind, but Al-Lexia and the Underking destroyed him at Red Mountain. Teski, the Snake Palace, once the strongest power in Akavir before the Tiger Dragon came. The serpent folk ate all the men of Akavir a long time ago, but still kind of look like them. They are tall, beautiful, if frightening, covered in golden scales, and immortal. They enslave the goblins of the surrounding isles who provide labor and fresh blood. The holdings of Teski are widespread. When natives of Tamriel think of the Akaviri, they think of the serpent folk because one ruled the Cyrodiilic Empire for 400 years in the previous era. He was potentate Versidushaye, assassinated by the Morag tongue. Tangmo is the 1,000 Monkey Isles. There are many breeds of monkey folk. They are all kind, brave, and simple, and many are also very crazy. They can raise armies when they must, for All of the other Akaviri nations have at one time or another tried to enslave them. They cannot decide who they hate more, the snakes or the demons, but ask one and he will probably say snakes. Though once bitter enemies, the monkey folk are now allies with the tiger folk of Kapotun. Kapotun is the tiger dragon's empire. The cat folk here are ruled by divine Tashraka, the tiger dragon. They are now a very great empire, stronger than Teski, not at sea, though not at sea. After the serpent folk ate all the men, they tried to eat all the dragons. They managed to enslave the red dragons, but the black ones had fled to then Potun. A great war was waged, which left both the cats and the snakes weak and the dragons all dead. Since that time, the cat folk have tried to become the dragons. Tashraka is the first to succeed. He is the largest dragon in the world, orange and black, and he has some very many new ideas. First, Tashraka says, is that we kill all the vampire snakes. Then the tiger dragon emperor wants to invade Tamriel. Ooh.
Truest sons and daughters.
Okay.
The Storm Club.
Meow. Bless you.
Thank you.
Ring through for youth, and today's come and gone for the age of.
Okay, have a good night, you guys.